Welcome to Chapter 17 on globalization and international business. There are a few big takeaways from this chapter, so I'm going to go through them briefly. The first big takeaway is understanding the pros and cons of conducting business internationally. And on page 321 and on this slide from the PowerPoint, it talks about the pros of doing business globally. So these would be your pros that you'd want to understand and discuss. And then the cons, the negatives of doing business internationally, begin on page 323. And you can see the different subheads. They start out talking about the fact that international business is complicated by different legal and political systems. On page 324, it talks about disputes over trade barriers, issues with tariffs and taxes. Protectionism is another one. 327, the fact that actions of global corporations can be controversial. On 328, the ethics challenges, including corruption, sweatshops, child labor, and bribery. Planning and controlling are complicated because of currency risks and political risks. And organizing and leading can be challenging in global corporations. So those are some of the cons or the negatives. I also want you to pay particular attention in this chapter, starting on page 322, the difference between a franchise and licensing. So the difference between those two things. The difference between a joint venture and a foreign subsidiary, as well as the difference between a multinational and transnational corporation. And that's on page 327 of the textbook. So those are your big takeaways from chapter 17. Thank you.